Let's Chat.
Glad to have you here with us. Time to spend a few minutes now with Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wamp. And first of all, our thanks to Mayor Wamp for carving a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to fit us in. Let's start back here at your State of the County speech just a few days ago. Very positive, enthusiastic speech with a lot of really strong building points. Break it down for us.
Well, we started with the theme to lean into our strengths. I think a lot of times what's exciting in politics is what's new, not the things that you've always been known for, and leaning back into those and shoring up areas of strength in this community like the riverfront. We made a point to talk about the importance of the riverfront and the aquarium plaza and the aquarium itself to the story of Chattanooga, at least in my lifetime, and that that riverfront district, some would say, has grown tired and we should reinvest into it. I've talked to Mayor Kelly about that in the same way that the riverfront and the river walk, river park have always been a city-county partnership in terms of funding and visioning. We think we ought to get back to that.
Yeah.
We ought to lean into families. We talked about the creation of a new center for thriving families, which will really focus on our youngest citizens, 0 to 3 years old. 85% of your brain is developed in the first 1,000 days of your life,
wow,
which really shows how important that time of life is and how important parents are as the first teachers. And we talked about roads and some investments, particularly out in Ottawa, Hunter Road, Snow Hill Road, also in Middle Valley, where we've deferred some of the investments that we should have made to make sure that these the major arteries out in the county are invested in and safe enough.
It is important to point out that you're not just focused on the downtown area, but every square foot of Hamilton County. You got a lot going on in all areas of the county, and yesterday you were out at Volkswagen talking about the upcoming UAW vote scheduled for mid-April. You and a number of other leaders said, no, we don't need the UAW union here. Why?
Well, you know, let me juxtapose it with a real passion of mine. I also talked in the state of the county about career and technical education,
right?
Which is, at the end of the day, I think the most fundamental, wonderful gift that we could give to young people in our community, right? Set of skills with which to go out the rest of their lives and thrive. Well, we're going to make 4 new investments at high schools across the community. We're working actually with Volkswagen on a big partnership in career and technical education. Unions, trade unions in our community have played an incredibly important role, whether it's the Carpenters Union, the IBEW training electricians, Local 43 training plumbers and pipe fitters. The UAW is a different union. And
right,
this is tough because some people want to say, oh, Wamp's just anti-union. I'm not anti-union. Zach Wamp was never anti-union. We believe in the importance of the workforce training, the community-oriented leadership that you've seen from our local unions. The UAW has, in fact, it's worth a Google search. It has in fact been found to have corruption at the highest levels of its leadership. Just since the last vote in 2019, the federal government, the Department of Justice, the Biden Department of Justice charged some 16 UAW executives with embezzlement, public corruption. These are the kind of things that don't give you confidence, particularly given the run that this community's been on. We have a thriving economy.
Sure.
You know, when I was a little kid, there were 0 jobs at Enterprise South. Today, there's more than 10,000. I think the UAW, if you read the tea leaves, if you look at the history of the UAW in the upper Midwest, there's a reason that their membership has declined from 1.5 million in 1970 to about 370,000 today. And I know that's tough love, but I love our community. And so I want the people of Volkswagen to know, you know, you've got a right to vote. We believe you have a right to organize. From our vantage point, it is more risk than the upside.
Sure. If
you look at the declining numbers of, and they even admit this. I mean, the UAW admits that right now they're coming to the South to try to get their numbers back up. They've been, if you will, a sinking ship, and I think they're coming to the South, beginning in Chattanooga, seeing if these auto plants in the South that have been thriving will bail them out and get their membership numbers back up.
You have long been a proponent of public education. Your kids are in public schools, and you got the keys to this beautiful new complex, well, not a new complex, but the beautiful Golden Gateway complex, to focus on that as part of education and other schools that you mentioned a moment ago throughout the county. We only got 90 seconds or so left, but what is the ultimate Weston Wamp dream outlook for schools? In your perfect world, what would we have?
Well, it would be that kids of all different gift sets could come to the Golden Gateway, as it was known by different generations here, to that incredible 11-acre campus in the heart of downtown, and that they could be introduced to career pathways that ultimately might lead to a job, a co-op opportunity in the afternoon. So many of our great companies operate near the downtown footprint. You got even more of them coming to the Bend development. Part of the funding for how we're going to redevelop the Gateway into a technical school will be derived from the success of the Bend. And so I think that's ultimately the vision, is that kids from all across our community, it will not just serve the downtown footprint. The vision that Dr. Roberts and I have is that students will be able to attend, and there are already buses that run students downtown. And so if you want to come, much in the spirit of Kirkman for generations, our vision is that you'd be able to come and equip yourself with skills for the jobs of the future. And some of those may be the jobs that you think about vehicles and the strengths from the manufacturing sector, but it also might be an IT pathway to Blue Cross itself.
And of course, the better the education you have, the better life you're going to live down the road. Just no two ways around that. Mayor Weston Wamp, thanks so much for joining us. And one more thing. Happy belated birthday.
Thanks, Chip.
You had a birthday last week. Happy belated birthday. Thanks for everything you're doing for the county. We do appreciate it. Stick around. We are back with more of Let's Chat right after this.